So just a quick update on the shrimp tank. After a couple of days, or yeah, a few days with the with the blue dreams, blue diamonds. So I just fed them, so they're all kind of congregated here at the moment. They do actually eat quite a lot more than the Bloody Marys, and I suspect it's just because I don't know. Maybe it's. I mean, they came from different breeders. Um, so it's hard to say. There might be more biofilm in this one, especially because of there was some fungus or mold on the wood that happens when you kind of waterlog wood. Um, so they do eat a lot. These guys do eat, but not as they don't consume it as fast as these guys here do. Um, I need to actually feed almost about double the quantity in this one, it seems, than I do in this one. But anyway, um, so there's right that guy right there, that female, she's pretty buried at the moment. Um, so yeah, it's doing pretty well. I Today I just ordered some Bacter AE, which is kind of it's like a biological food, kind of like a biofilm, kind of almost as a supplement for the shrimp. So I'll be dosing it in this tank and probably a little bit in this tank as well, because there's some smaller shrimp here. But I don't think any of the females here are buried yet. Um, so I'm not even sure how many females I have in there. I don't think that many. Some of the bigger ones are just on the moss at the moment, not actually actively feeding off of the Shrimp King Complete. So yeah, so this tank is doing pretty well. The shrimp are molting. There's lots of molts all over the place. I haven't lost one shrimp yet. Um, the moss balls seem to be growing a little bit, so that's good. So I guess they survived the trip from China. And yeah, so that's the update. So once I get that Bacter AE in there, I'm not sure what I want to do. If I want to do a plant. So with this tank here, which is probably already all scratched up because the cat likes to climb on that tank, um, I was going to do a guppy slash live plant um, grow out tank, and also kind of test a new filtration method, which kind of depends on fish more than on shrimp, because I think shrimp they do make a lot of waste, but not as much as fish, especially discus. Man, the discus tank is constantly dirty due to waste. So I was gonna use that free 20 long to get some plants in there, grow some plants, sell some of it off. Um, and I think the reason why I was having such difficulty with plants before is because of my water that I have. And I think that's the reason why I was getting a lot of algae blooms. So there's absolutely zero algae bloom in this tank. Maybe because it's probably not zero, but you can't see anything at all. Probably because of the shrimp, they don't produce quite a lot of waste. And I think it's just because the water. I have well water, or not well water. You have well water, which is treated, and I just don't think it's good quality water. So I think going forward, I'm just gonna use distilled purified water from from my local hardware store, which I can get for like 60 cents or 55 cents. Yeah, like probably 55 cents per gallon. And I'll just fill that guy up, just 20 long with that. And if I get enough shrimp tanks or enough tanks, I'll just invest like in a portable RODI unit, just to save some money. But then the thing with shrimp is that you don't really have to do a lot of water changes in the water. And the fact that I have these dwarf water lettuce, look at the roots on these guys. So the seller I bought it from eBay, not that great. The plants were in pretty bad shape, but now the roots have, they've just livened up quite a bit, and these roots have literally grown an extra 2 to 3 inches since then. Since that, like maybe a week and a half ago. Um, the same for this side as well. So they've done pretty well, and because it's a fast growing plant, they do that means they do actually absorb quite a lot of nitrates and and whatnot from the water. So it keeps the water quite clean, uh, which is great to look at. So yeah, I need to figure out what I want to do that are returning long. I also for the Neocaridina, I also like to have yellow and orange and possibly green to kind of make like a skittle system. I might do that, but if I do that, then that means I can't use my new filtration method. The other thing I was going to use that, so in addition to being a guppy tank, uh, a fancy guppy, like the really nice guppy tank, guppies. I was also going to use that tank to cull the shrimp as well. I know a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people. For culling shrimp, I don't think I'm not sure what people do. It seems like some people just throw away the shrimp. That's horrible, I feel. So I want to use that other tank to put the cull shrimp in. So that they can just live a good life. Um, so I don't know. So if I do that, I might have to buy another 20 long and just keep going. I don't know. But anyway, the other thing is I bought a used computer that could probably do a little streaming. So I might do stream some games and record some games on this uh on this channel instead. Uh, and also this summer and spring, I definitely want to do an LTO project. So I found a website they call Battery Hookup that sells fairly cheap LTO batteries from time to time. So the ones that they have now are completely out of stock, but from time to time they do actually sell good batteries. So yeah, we'll see. So I might do something like that. So yeah, so this tank, the Bloody Marys are breeding. I see some berried females already. So I bought a small quantity of Bacter AE, which is kind of the go-to baby fish food. And hopefully these guys have only been in there for less than a week, so I'm hoping in about a week or two that they also start breeding, and I'll put some bacteria in there as well, so you can get some breeding action going to see. And then the true test will come to see if this barrier actually works on the babies, because it definitely works for the adults. There's obviously no reds here and there's no blues here that I've seen so far, um, so it definitely works. But the babies, this is about an inch of semi-porous filter pad, so I'm hoping that they can't go across, because otherwise that will kind of defeat the whole purpose of this tank of separating them, which is a breeding project for and kind of like a sustainable, aquarium. Then now and then I'll just sell some of them off or whatnot to, no, obviously not for too big of a price, just to local people or also online on eBay. See if I can get a little bit of the money back from it. And I'm not really breeding it for profit, so to say, because obviously when you breed for profit, you gotta take account over your time, the amount of money that you put into tanks and shipping and whatnot. And I think after that, all of that, it would just be kind of no, and it would not be. Well, I know a lot of people do it, but I don't think I can get up to that kind of operation. But we'll see. Maybe I'll become a master breeder. In ter in terms of shrimp versus fish, I'm kind of tired of fish at the moment, which is kind of rare because I just did the discus and before I had a tropical tank, which I fully planted, which I sowed off. So I'm kind of strung out on the fish part. So I might do another shrimp tank. But the problem again with that is that I won't be able to do test my filtration a new filtration method of that because I'll need the whole tank, and I don't want to use a whole tank just for one type of shrimp because obviously you need quite a lot of that shrimp. And I want to finish off the neocardinas. Uh, I actually do want to do all yellow, definitely yellow. I'm not sure between orange and green which one I would do if I had a choice. Let's just say I can't do five, because if I had to do five, that means I have to split a 20 into three, or and because I want to save on heating and all that stuff and whatnot. So that I don't think this 20 long will look good in three sections. Right now, it's kind of like perfect in terms of the scape. I just don't think it'll do well in three. So anyway, that's the update. A little bit longer than I thought. Hope everyone's doing well. So overall, the main points that we have breeding action going on in the Bloody Mary tank or Bloody Mary side. Uh, so hope to get a nice explosion of shrimp in there soon.